Get ready for a fabulous trip back to the 90s. In this bonus episode, we're counting down our favorite 90s BAPs and getting Stephanie's employee picks. Let's celebrate the icons who made the 90s unforgettable. Welcome to the No More Late Fees podcast. I'm Jackie.
And I'm Danielle, and we're just two best friends and ex-Blockbuster employees rewatching some of the best and worst movies from the late 90s and early 2000s. And for this week's bonus episode, we're joined by returning guest and pal, Stephanie. Welcome back.
Thanks for having me. Hey.
It's been a while since Selena. I don't even know what
Right?
season that was. Do you remember, Jackie?
I don't remember.
First or second or something. I can't
Yeah,
remember.
it's got to be probably the second season, I
Yeah.
think. Yeah.
So it was before you moved, so it's been a while.
True.
How are things, Stephanie? How are things? How is the teacher's game? Oh, wait, are you still you're still teaching, right?
Yes, I'm teaching in Washington in a small town in North Washington, Ferndale.
I didn't know you
We're
moved to Washington.
yeah, we did
Jackie,
it.
let's get into our favorite 90s BAPs.
Oh my goodness. Yes. I'm excited.
I didn't say who was doing this one, so I'll just say it really quick. So we obviously covered BAPs, the movie, and so it got me thinking there were so many wonderful 90s Black actresses or singers. It's up to you guys. And I thought it would be fun to like name our favorites. Top three.
Ooh.
I'm gonna do some unsung heroes.
Please do. Did you watch that TikTok I sent you, Danielle?
I
Where they were
did.
talking about like black famous versus white famous?
When he said he didn't know who Nia Long was or Morris Chestnut by name, but it's so crazy to me that like people live in totally different universes.
Yes.
I just don't understand. And he knew who Vivica Fox was, but I think Vivica Fox had way more crossover movies per se. Like she was in Independence Day, she was in some of, and she for a while she was like one of the top paid Black actresses.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But like even like a Regina Hall, I will say that for To the Day I Die. She's been in so many big movies, but like if I say Regina Hall to some people, they don't know who I'm talking about.
Yeah.
But it happens with my Black friends too. I'll say a white actor and they're like, who the fuck is that? Because, like I have a lot of friends who do not watch white shows, white movies. Like they are living a very just Black existence and they don't see any need to watch anything else.
Yeah. Yeah. I just thought because we talk about it on the podcast a lot, but to see another podcast duo talking about it too, I was like, oh, we've had this discussion. But I know who Nia Long and Morris Chestnut are, so doing better than them.
Yeah. I feel like this podcast has definitely been giving you more of an education, expanding the amount of Black actors that you were
Yes.
exposed to because you're like, I never even heard of this movie. I was like,
Yeah.
you gonna learn today. You're gonna learn today. Who wants to start?
I'll go ahead. I'm gonna start with Whitney Houston.
Yes.
She does it all.
Yes,
And
she
she
does.
does it well. Even on lots of drugs, she does it well.
My poor queen. I miss like there aren't a lot of celebrities that have passed that I like actually st like I feel actual pain
Hmm.
knowing she's gone.
Yeah.
Legitimately will just as if she's a family member. Like if I see a video of her singing or something, I'll cry. Like I miss her.
Hmm.
Woody, I miss you. Just thinking about it is making me want to cry right now.
Well, instead of crying, tell us your first pick.
Robin Givens.
Ooh, love it.
She deserves so much more than we gave her. And circumstance
Yep.
made her, I don't know what happened. I feel like someone blacklisted her. The trajectory she was on at some point, like she should have been bigger. And she was gorgeous. First of all, if you
Mhm.
just look at her fits from Boomerang, top tier. Okay, who do you guys
Oh,
have?
yeah, definitely.
Steph, who's your
Um,
first?
Okay, yeah, Steph, who do you
my
have?
first, I mean, I'm music. My brain went to music, and I went to Aaliyah.
Mm.
And like, who did I grow up listening to? Who was in my Walkman as I walked around the neighborhood and on repeat? And when Back and Forth came out, I couldn't put that song down, and I just wanted more from her. And then they just released her
Her Barbie.
Barbie,
Oh,
and it
Oh,
sold out. I was like so excited. I texted my mom and was like, "This was all I wanted for my birthday. Damn."
they did that launch real like low key
They
under the
did.
radar. Like I didn't even know that was coming. But do you see on TikTok those t-shirts that they sell with her and Selena? And I had to like
Yes.
Google to see if that picture was real because I was like, that broke my
Right.
brain.
It
But it
looks
was, huh?
I know. It looks real, and
It
I've seen
does.
it, and now that we've talked about it, my phone's gonna probably bring it up
I
on ads on my
know.
Instagram. But I almost bought one. I think the link I tried, it was being weird, and I'm like, okay, I don't think this is a good one. Maybe I'll go to Etsy. But
yeah.
yeah, I want that shirt. 100% I want that one.
What's your second one, Jackie?
I'm going Queen Latifah.
Hmm.
I
I
was
just
thinking that one
always
too.
adore her. I love that she's very body positive and didn't really give in to like that diet culture and just kind of she seemed to really honor who she was and not really change her persona to fit any role.
Yeah, I was also thinking her because I was like, oh, Living Single. We watched that all the time.
And she's funny. She's so funny.
Yes.
I just really enjoy her. Danielle?
My second is Lynn Whitfield. I love that it's become such a like a meme or a joke that she does not play poor. She is always a rich woman in pretty much every role that she's in, and I love that for her. She very much fits the Black American princess vibes for sure.
Love
Okay,
it.
Steph, with number two.
Again, I stayed with music, but my last one will be an actor. SWV. I know it's a trio, but I'm smushing them into one. That was another one that I grew up on. I loved looking at the pictures in my cassette because that's what we
Yeah,
did, and seeing their long nails
Coco's
and
nails were on she's still I think she still rocks pretty
rocket.
long nails.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I loved them, and that Weak song, it's still one that I'll like. It's a great like carpool karaoke song and
Yeah.
just road
Yes.
trip song, but yeah, those girls consumed me too in my childhood, so I've
I
always put them on a pedestal.
I used that was the first like that was one of the first songs I ever like memorized. That one and shoot, those two were the one and I was real proud that I knew the words to those songs. But
Heck yeah.
because I think I got my first cassette of SWB at because we used to have the Black Expo. I don't even think they still do that here, but we used to go to the Black Expo and there'd be all these people selling tapes and stuff like that. And I saved my little money to get an SWV tape and an Escape. And I thought
Yes.
could tell me nothing. All right, Jackie, what's your third one?
I'm going Nicole Ari Parker.
Was she was she in the 90s though?
She was in, hold on. Well, she was in 200 Cigarettes.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's true. I totally forgot she. I guess I just didn't like recognize her till much later.
Yeah, I think it's especially redoing these movies, realizing how many movies that I love that she was actually in. And then, of course, I'm
Yeah.
getting that
She was in,
resurgence with and just like that rewatch. So I just think she's so beautiful to look at. Like I just
she is.
fawn all over her every time she comes on screen. So that's
She was
that's
in
my
Boogie
pick.
Nights. That's interesting.
My last one, I was having a hard time. It was so I started thinking about like who my favorite was when I was little, and I have to give it to Lisa Turtle, Lark Voorhees.
Ooh,
That's a
yes.
good one.
It was hard because I wanted to say Bianca Lawson as well, but I think Lark had a bigger impact on me, and she just played Lisa Turtle. Like it was so refreshing to see. Not only was she a black character, yes, they kept trying to throw that little nerdy ass kid on her, but her fits were
So
top
good.
tier. Her hair was always in place, and she wasn't like poor. She was rich, rich. And I love that for us.
Definitely.
Yes.
All right, Steph, who you got?
Well, I think when I saw Black American Princess actor, my brain immediately went to Brandy playing Cinderella.
Yeah.
And I remember the like commercials leading up to that and like my family like, okay, today's the day. We're getting, the Whitney, Brandy, Cinderella and like yeah, we were glued to the TV for that and it's still awesome to watch and yeah, I love that version so much.
Definitely that was a canon event that when that movie came out.
Absolutely.
Hmm.
Good
What?
answers.
Okay. So we have a question for everyone. What is a movie character that was played by an actor that you were surprised by their performance because it was such a departure from their typical roles?
I asked the question and I don't remember. I don't know what my answer is.
Like the only thing I can think of is like someone who's like a comedy actor and they do like a drama. Like that's where my brain
Yeah.
immediately went and I automatically think of like Jim Carrey playing serious roles like The Truman Show or Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind or even like Robin Williams doing serious like Good Will Hunting. It's just like, oh dang, they got range or
They can
they can
act.
totally I know, like still when I watch Good Will Hunting, like he makes me tear up. I mean, of course, I'm thinking like, oh, he's not here anymore, but like they can really do more outside of, where we typically see them in these like comedy roles. So that's like, yeah, that's where my brain went to.
I'm always like I don't know, like to me, when I see a like a pretty famous white actor in a black film, and I'm like, it's like that meme, Ariana, what are you doing here? That's what it feels like, but I know it's not necessarily like the character they're playing is so beyond what they normally play, but it's always just surprising to me. And then it makes me just kind of think, okay, they're kind of cool because why they didn't have to be in this movie.
Hmm.
So that always makes me think of the entire casting of Beauty Shop because Alicia Silverstone, what are you doing in here? What are you doing over here? And
How'd you
Kevin
get
Bacon,
here?
what you doing over here? It was so random. They did a great job. I just that always surprises me.
Oh yeah. I think they were like, oh, I get to have fun. I bet Kevin Bacon was like, what? I get to do
Yeah, he just
sign me
he's
up.
just seems like, he's down.
Hmm.
What about you, Jackie?
I'm going Shaq and Kazam. I'm really not.
Okay. Cause that,
Or was that Sinbad?
right, like I can't.
I was thinking Bruce Willis in The Sixth Sense, we're used to seeing him like real macho
Action.
and like action movie. And then he just had this really subdued but like sublime performance. And we know our feelings about The Sixth Sense. The movie itself is not, it's not at the top of my list, but I think his acting is superb in it, and he just nailed that role.
Mark, see, even not Mark Wahlberg, Donnie Wahlberg
Donnie
in that
Wahlberg.
movie was surprising. It also made me think of Chris Tucker in Fifth Element because that was such
Oh,
a
so good.
departure.
Yeah.
Yes.
A lot of
What?
good picks.
He
Yeah.
stole the show.
All right, Stephanie, as you know, when you come on the show, you are an honorary Blockbuster employee, so you have to pick 3 movies that you would recommend for employee picks.
Okay. Oh, I know it's always five, and then I'm like, I read a sixth one. I was actually this time around, I wanted to think of more either indie type movies or movies that I really like the soundtrack, or like I'll go back to the soundtrack. Um, so definitely up there is Tank Girl. That's actually a
Ooh,
movie that I circle back to a lot, and I really like the soundtrack, and I need to get it on vinyl because I really, really like it, and I just love how they filmed it. And Lori Petty just
what
is
happened to
amazing in
her?
that.
She
She
was
just,
on Orange is the New
Orange is the
Black.
New Black. That was the
that's
last thing I
right.
saw her
Yeah.
in.
Was she in Free Willy?
Yes, she was the
Yeah.
trainer.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
She got
Yes.
range. She can drive tanks. She can train whales. She can play baseball.
Yeah.
Yep, and she can go to prison.
Yes.
All right, you've got 2 more.
Tank Girl. Okay, then I'll probably go to Ghost World. That
Oh,
was
okay.
one I liked. I think in college, I was just always like, that looks different. Let me check that out.
Yeah.
And I really liked that one. I don't know if that was the first time I was introduced to Scarlett Johansson, but I don't know. It was just different, and seeing like Steve Buscemi and his whole interaction with Thora Birch. I don't know. But yeah, I really liked that one and the music in that one. So Tank Girl Ghost World. And then one more.
Mm-hmm.
I'll probably go with, ooh, I'm gonna say Now and Then, because
Mm-hmm.
that's also a soundtrack. I'll go back and be like, this is really solid. They picked some really good songs from the 70s, and I
They really
still have
did.
the CD. I still have that. So yeah, that was another one that I really enjoyed the soundtrack for that one.
I love that you thought of a cohesive theme for your suggestions.
It kind of helps narrow it down and
Yes.
like, I don't know. And that was just a fun way to kind of, guess I think the first list, I was like, these were like my favorite movies, like with my brothers, and we quote all the time. And yeah, I liked going this route.
Love it. Well, if you want to find us on socials, hit us up at No More Late Fees, TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Threads, Blue Sky, and engage with us. We love it.
And check us out next week as we cover our last Scream movie with Scream 3.
And as always, be kind and rewind.